I want my peers and teacher to understand that there has become an increased prejudice against stay-at-home dads in the workplace. This translates into a rise in gender discrimination against male caregivers who wish to re-enter their field of work, as well as place strain amongst their traditional role as a provider. Our essential questions are:
what are the causes of the increase in stay-at-home dads?
Why are male caregivers increasingly being discriminated against in the working world, especially when trying to re-enter their field?
How does deciding to become a stay-at-home dad strain traditional gender roles and defy stereotypical characteristics of one's manhood?
A man can be a full-time parent. A man can do it all.
When they found out I was a stay-at-home dad, there was always this, ooh, what's that all about? This sort of thing like, what, you just can't get a job?
Sometimes you get it like, oh, you let your wife work and...
Due to the recent recession and the continuous increase of women in the workplace, becoming a stay-at-home dad has become a more common occurrence over the past decade.
Numbers do not lie. The number of stay-at-home dads in the U.S. has risen from 1.6% in 2001 to 3.4% in 2011. Translating that to the actual number of people, this means it has risen from 81,000 to 176,000. This is an increase of more than double from just a decade ago.
According to the latest census, 32% of dads regularly care for their children, and among those with preschool-aged kids, 1 in 5 dads is the primary caregiver. When the mother works, that rises to 1 in 3.
A wife of a stay-at-home dad sees the risk in him trying to go back to work after deciding to stay home to care for the children. She voices her concerns.
I'm worried that this long break will prevent Grant from working again, which is a difficult thought. He's young, smart, talented, and well-educated. I really hope that this sacrifice doesn't jeopardize his future career prospects.
She raises some good points. No matter the level of talent or competence the man might have in the workplace, there are some companies who would be very reluctant to hire him. In their minds, he would have been out of the force for too long and might be rusty.
Employers also just do not understand why he would have felt the need to leave the working world to raise children in the first place. Society is much more accepting to a mother making this same decision to stay at home. They might wonder why a male would make that decision, to take on the predominantly female role. They might be seen as unmanly because of their straying from the traditional provider role of that of the nurturer.
It seems that when these stay-at-home dads do return to work, they have different demands in the type of job they want to work than they would have before their absence. They no longer want these jobs that have strict hours and those all-consuming corporate jobs that swallow all of your time. They want to come back to jobs that they can have more flexibility in and spend more time being able to still be that caring parent. In fact, they may even turn down good job offers from companies in favor of opening their own business.
That business could be doing the same exact thing that they got offered for the job for, but owning your own business brings the option of making your own hours, and you can work from home when need be. In a study published in April of 2004, 68% of men who responded to a survey said that they would use flex time at work if they were offered it. As that was 2004, the number has probably increased within the last 9 years with the number of stay-at-home dads, and thus the number of stay-at-home dads who are returning to work.
I can't think of a more life-altering experience.
The first time she said a word, I was there. First time she walked, I was there.
They know their dad really well. He is equal to me. I don't have any special stature, really, as a mom.
It has been reported that when the family announced their decision to have the dad stay at home, their family was initially confused and not understanding or accepting of the father staying home. Once they saw that interaction in the family and how well it was working, That uneasiness went away and was replaced with understanding and acceptance. Family and friends would also view this as just a hiatus and not permanent. They would think that the father would return to work in full time shortly.
They would also express the concern they had with the family's financial status. When in public, strangers would just assume that it was the dad's day off or that he was just spending the day with the kids. Some, when told the dad cares for them, comment on how rare it is to see such a thing. When asked, the dads tend to feel social isolation. They just don't connect with their male friends well anymore, and some just don't understand. They have other obligations and don't have the same amount of time with them anymore.
I kind of came to that conclusion that this is my job. It's what I do. And, nothing could be any more important than these two.